Real quick before we jump into the video, guys, for the rest of this year I'm going to be on a fundraising campaign to raise a minimum of £1,000 for the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. For more information on the charity and what it does, and for the donation links, please look in the description below. And thank you all for your continued support. Enjoy the show. What's going on, guys? Rainbow Teacher now, so we're back with another Sinnoh video for you guys. Today we're going to be looking at the best team, in my opinion, for your playthroughs of Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. This is, of course, going to be largely my opinion, but it is going to be based off a lot of important information to consider, and also there are some extra factors which we will talk about as we go through. To bear this in mind, I did set myself some ground rules for this. We will not be using any legendaries or mythical Pokemon. I believe I've seen it in a trailer that you can actually gain some of the mythicals and stuff via NPCs or via mystery gift and stuff like that. We will not be using those because that is a little bit powerful, and we'll not be using the box art legendaries either, as they are generally considered very highly powerful Uber Pokemon, and it would make the game a little bit too easy. But aside from that, we're going to go through my preferred 6 for doing a Sinnoh playthrough. And of course, let me know your dream team down below. And of course, thank you to Matt Flame for the inspiration for this particular video. I'll link Matt's video down below as well, so that you guys can go watch that. And while you're down there, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button as well. I would greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into the team. So, I think the first Pokemon we should always consider is our starter option. And while I'm a huge fan of Empoleon and I don't have too much hatred for Torterra, Infernape is definitely the best option here. Infernape gets a myriad of coverage moves, which allows it to take on the most gyms and Elite Four members in the game. It gets way too many moves on both the physical and the special side, so it almost doesn't matter which nature you get. If you do end up with a special Infernape, that's not the worst deal. But it does learn a lot of great moves that makes it very, very good. It is, of course, very fast as well at base 108 speed and 104 in both offensive stats. Doesn't seem too great, but it does mean it's very, very useful whichever set you choose to run. Infernape, of course, does have its fair share of weaknesses, being weak to Psychic, Flying, Water, and Ground. Means it's got a few things that it needs to patch it up, but it does also have pretty nice coverage moves to be able to take on some of those Pokemon as well. But an obvious partner for it would be a flying type. This would help us out quite a lot. And while I considered Honchkrow for this team because I'm a huge fan of Honchkrow, Staraptor just makes most sense here because it is a early game Pokemon. You can literally get it on the first route in the game. Starly is pretty easy to get. It's a very common early bird. And obviously Staraptor has 2 very nice abilities in Intimidate and Reckless, if you're lucky enough to get an ability one. Reckless is very, very strong for competitive usage, but Intimidate is actually really nice for your playthrough, crippling any physical attacker. There are quite a few physical Pokemon in the game that are particularly problematic, not just Cynthia's Garchomp either. Staraptor is really, really nice as well. It gives that extra option for utility. It obviously gets access to Defog, so pretty handy Pokemon to have on your team, and it's also reasonably fast as well. Really, really good physical attack. It also gets access to close combat, which can help it out against the dark types, much like Infernape can also do if needs be. But Staraptor is just generally an insanely good Pokemon. Gets enough good moves to be able to work with. Now, because we didn't opt for Honchkrow, we do need a dark type to help deal with Infernape's psychic weakness. And while Weavile is a late game pick in terms of your playthrough, you do get it a fair bit later into the game. It is absolutely worth it adding to the team. It is very fast at 125 base speed. A really, really strong offensive Dark and Ice typing allows it to hit a lot of things. It also covers the ground problem that Infernape doesn't like. Weavile, really, really strong in general. Gets a lot of great moves as well. He even gets coverage moves like Glow Kick, which allows it to take on steel types, which it otherwise gets walled by, which is pretty darn powerful. Weavile is such a good physical attacker, it can definitely be a worthwhile fit on any of your teams. Now, with 3 predominantly physical attackers, yes, Infernape can also be special. We do want to add some special presence on the team. And having an electric type on the team will be really helpful against these water types, because Infernape does not appreciate water. And while I could easily go with Luxray, because Luxray is an early game Pokemon much like Staraptor, I opted to go for Magnezone instead. While I typically don't usually go for Pokemon with quad weaknesses if I can avoid it, we do have 2 of them on this team with Weavile and Magnezone, but the quad weakness to fighting is covered by Staraptor. The quad weakness to ground is covered by Weavile anyway, so I think this is perfectly fine to add to the team. Magnezone, while it's not as quick as the other Pokemon on the team, it does have natural bulk and a really good special attack stat, which means the stab moves like Flash Cannon and Thunderbolt are going to be doing a ton of damage. It's very scary to deal with. It does obviously have that quad weakness to ground, and is somewhat weak to fighting as well, but we do have Staraptor to cover for that, so not a huge deal. Magnezone's a really nice fit on this team. Other potential options could be Jolteon, if you wanted to go down that route, or if you're running a special Infernape, you can run things like Electivire or Luxray. But I like Magnezone. It gives us a nice Steel type, which is always handy to have. Steel is a really good type to have in your playthroughs. But we are missing a Water type. We do not have a Water type right now, and we do have to kind of consider the electric weakness on Staraptor. So I looked at Water types, and I saw Gastrodon. Now Gastrodon, you can get a Shellos in the Valley Windworks, the grass just outside there. I believe it's also, I saw it in the trailer, that it's available in the underground as well, so you can get Gastrodon pretty quickly into the game, a couple of badges in, because you get the Explorer kit. Assuming Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is the same as Diamond and Pearl when it comes to where the location is, because I have not touched Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl yet, so I have no idea if any of the encounter tables have changed, but you normally get it in Eterna, in the Old Man by the Pokemon Center, so I would assume you can get Gastrodon pretty quickly. Which is pretty nice. Gastrodon, of course, being a water ground type, means it's only weak to grass, which is covered by both Weavile, Staraptor, and Infernape, so we're not too worried about that. Of course, it's got decent natural bulk. While it's not the best offensive Pokemon in the world, well, it gives us extra bulk on the team, which pairs up nicely with Magnezone, which is really handy. Does a decent amount of damage too, does also help deal with the problematic ground types that Magnezone does not appreciate. And last but by no means least, we're looking at a grass type, really, to round out this team, because grass is always nice. Firewater grass cores are definitely handy if you want to go down that route. The last one's kind of somewhat up in the air, though. You can pick a lot of different things, but my pick is Roserade. I think Roserade is a really nice additional fit to this team. It's not the fastest on the team by any means at base 95 speed, but it is above average in a lot of slower formats. It does hit really hard with access to moves like Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb for stab. Gets a nice coverage move and extra sensory, and you could also run things like Sleep Powder if you so wish. Yes, Budew you normally get very early into the game as well, so it's a Pokemon that you can get pretty easily. You just need to evolve it via Friendship to Rosalia, then I think it's Shiny Stone that evolves it to Roserade, so fairly easy to get hold of, so shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. But I think this is a very well-rounded 6 Pokemon. I think it's very hard-pressed to match this team for well-roundedness. Obviously, there are some replacements you could do if you wanted to. There's potential for things like Honchkrow over Staraptor, and then you can replace Weavile if you so wish, because Weavile is a little bit later into the game. But I think this team is probably the 6 I would pick. If I had to cherry pick my playthrough team, this would probably be it. Also, if I wanted to consider like Fairy Dragon Steel Core, I could replace Staraptor with Togekiss, replace Gastrodon with Garchomp, and then obviously keep Magnezone. That could be a thing, and then just add a water type in over probably Weavile. I could do stuff like that. There's always different little nuances that you can do. But again, this is my preferred 6. Let me know what your preferred 6 for your Diamond and Pearl playthrough, who is down in the description below. I'd love to hear from you, of course. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Rob, Teacher. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. And if you liked the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so that you never miss an upload. We upload every single day on this channel, Make sure you're following me on all of my social medias on the screen right now, and a huge shout out to the shiny Rabombies of this month, Araya Jade, The Crazed Artist, Mr. Burns 1988, and Average Gaming 017. Thank you all for your continued support.